Do you have a secret little fetish for binge watching financial YouTube videos? Just as one video ends, you're clicking through the recommended videos for the next one, trying to figure out who you should watch next and who has the best stock tips? Well, today's video is going to add to that addiction as I introduce you to Queenie from Sydney. She's another Aussie YouTuber in the space of personal finance. Now for today's video, I thought I'd do something a little bit different. I know we talk about a lot of cryptocurrency and stocks here, but I also love to dive into people's personal story and really get to the nuts and bolts of how they became financially free or how they are set on their journey to become financially free. We figure out how Queenie got from $400 a week working a 9-to-5 job all the way to a net worth of $289,000 just a few years later. And what YouTube video wouldn't be complete if I didn't ask you to like and subscribe to the channel. Obviously this helps out the algorithm a lot, and it is showing with the previous videos. I get to see what you guys are enjoying and which videos you want me to make more of. So with that said, hit the like button down below. It just takes 1 second to make that thing go blue, make YouTube happy, make the channel happy, and let's dive into the interview. Hey Queenie, thanks so much for joining us on the channel. I'm looking forward to getting into our interview today to chat about all the stuff that you chat about on your channel, plus your journey to how you got here as well. I find all of the young guys on Aussie YouTube super inspiring to see how they get to that point in their lives. So yeah, thanks again for joining us.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. It's going to be so good to chat. I think that, honestly, money is one of those things you can make it in so many different ways. So it'll be interesting to chat about different ways that we make money and yeah.
Yeah, especially the side hustle gear, which I know you are very well deep into. And that's super helpful for my guys as well, because a lot of my channel is wanting to find out how to get out of the grind. And so I guess just tell us a little bit about your channel and then, you know, kind of how you started and that bit of the grind process, the hustle.
I guess the way that I started, I've been someone who has always had multiple sources of income and side hustles. When I first started in digital marketing, I had always had clients on the side and people that just wanted help with marketing work. And it just got me so interested in the whole area of multiple income streams. And just if you can put a little bit more effort outside of your regular 9-to-5 job, you can make so much money from it, really. And it's just about finding something that you're passionate about, something that you're good at, and then really finding a way to monetize it.
So with that though, how many hours do you think you're working to be able to create this side hustle and have your full-time job? And I assume YouTube's another side hustle.
Yeah, honestly, I work so much. I don't count the hours, but at the same time, it's not like I don't have a life. I always make sure that I still make time to see friends and family every single week. I just cut out the things that I don't really mind cutting out, if that makes sense, like Netflix. I don't spend a lot of time on Netflix. I don't spend a lot of time on social media. I actually have little app limits on myself, so I set little time limits on TikTok and Instagram and Facebook so that I can monitor myself, make sure I'm not spending too much time on it, so then I can be more productive in my life. And it makes me more happy as well. So
that's always a good thing. That's what we need to move more towards, which is, you know, kind of what I do is like, I want more happiness. How can I get that? And then you sort of get pulled into the whole let's make more money, and you're like, hold on a sec, I want to make sure I'm happy. What is your main focus on the YouTube channel? We know it's finance, but are you finding a particular niche within the finance area?
The thing that I like to do on my YouTube channel is I want to be open about it. I want to be honest with people. I'm not one of those, I guess, gurus that's driving around in like crazy fancy cars and like mansions and things like that, because honestly, I think that it's a lot of those people, it's not really real, you know, and yeah. I want to be somebody who is completely honest, completely transparent, you know, and I think it is quite achievable, like the way that I've lived my life, the way that I've saved and invested. I honestly believe that if I can do it, and I'm not the smartest person and I'm not the best at money, I honestly think if I can do it, anyone can. So that's the kind of message that I want to bring to my YouTube channel, just to give some people who might be struggling with money, maybe they're feeling a bit down on themselves, maybe they're uncertain about their future. I want to give those people hope, because I was in that stage before when I was younger. I was uncertain about how to make money, and yeah, I just want to give that to people.
Go into that a little bit more if you don't mind, because it sounds like right now the money thing's going pretty well, but the work, the drive to do this sounds like it's really on point. So just, yeah, let me know a little bit more about how you got that drive.
So when I initially started, I was 19 and I moved out of home, and it was quite hard for me because was working I was working two part-time jobs. One was an unpaid internship, one was a telemarketing job, and then I also had full-time uni as well. So I was working so much, like even more than I am now. And I was only earning $400 per week, and I had no time to do anything. And I was so miserable. Yeah, it was just enough to pay for my rent and my groceries and transport, and that was about it. And I remember at that time I just felt so, I guess, stressed and also a bit disappointed, because I thought, surely this could be easier. Surely maybe there's something wrong with me that I'm not making that much money, or why am I struggling so much, kind of thing. But I think what I've realized is it's a process, it's not going to happen overnight. And what I started to do from then was just read some self-help books, make small improvements in my life, and just small steps. And those small steps really compound over time. And now, just 4 years later, I've managed to buy a house with my partner. I never thought I would be able to do that at 23. And now I have a net worth of like $289,000, which I honestly thought was so impossible. If I were to go back to myself when I was 19, really struggling, couldn't even pay for groceries sometimes, and tell myself that, yeah, if you just keep doing what you're doing, you'll get there eventually, I really don't think I would have believed myself, because it was so hard. So I know there are people struggling, of course, and I've been there, and I just want to show people that if you're struggling, it doesn't mean that there's something wrong with you. It's more just like, just keep going,
I think there's like a gap for a lot of people. I think that's a good point. It's like, you were just struggling, you always hear all these stories, right? But what is the middle point that started to shift? So you're struggling, $400 a week, nothing left out of it, now $289,000 in net worth at 23. Like, where is that chunk? I think that is the main area that everyone searches for, and they just can't bridge the gap between the struggle and the success. Can you pinpoint that?
Yeah,
can you feel that, what that is? I know I've put you on the spot here.
Yeah, I think it's honestly small changes,
I didn't script any of this with you at the beginning, so I'm possibly putting you on the spot here, but give us one thing tangible that you can do to go from that point. I know you said do one thing, you do 1% better every day. What's an example of that you feel has made a dramatic impact from that $400 a week to $289,000?
Yeah, that is a good point.
Like we hear that
books.
A lot. Reading books?
Yeah, that's true. Reading books for sure. I think also looking at your income.
One thing that stood out of the book then, and then get to the income. Like, I can, in my mind, I can pick one thing that I'm like, wow, that really got me, kicked me in the butt. Can you think of something like that from a book that really drove you from $400 a week to $289,000 in the year? Or in 4 years, sorry?
Oh, okay, that is so hard. Can you do your answer first?
My answer,
I'm like,
yeah.
well, yes.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm putting you on the spot here. I didn't script any of this with you, because I love the rawness of getting from where people are to that goal, and that's people love that. It's because it's motivating, it's inspiring as well. And so from mine, there's obviously many of them, but I can think of one in particular, and I come back to it all the time. Viewers of my channel will know that I look at it when I was 19 or 20, somewhere around there. This is going back 15 years for me. It was reading Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and just seeing the cash flow quadrant. And so all I think about is employee to self-employed to business owner to investor. And I was an employee. Like, I didn't have any control of my time, and I'm like, I need to get to investor as fast as possible. And so that's what drove me to get further into the money space, investing space, drove me to make some good money, and drove me to lose hundreds of thousands of dollars as well in that process, because I was so eager. I didn't have enough lessons in that period. And so if I'm picking one thing, it was really reading that book and just understanding, wow, there is a difference between employee to an investor. We're all different, and there's quicker ways to get things done.
That is so cool. That's such a good pinpoint. I love that. I think for me, it was, so now I can remember, it was my first, I think it was, okay, I was 19. I was with my partner and we were going to Bali. And at that time, you know, I was earning $400 a week. I was really struggling, but I still
How did you even get
managed
to Bali?
I don't even know. I still managed to scrap together bits of money and pay for a flight and pay for accommodation. But honestly, it was not enough because I really barely had enough for the ticket and the accommodation. And I just remember not being able to do anything. And he also wasn't earning much money, so we didn't really have many options on what we could do there. And I just remember I felt so disappointed because I couldn't really do anything. I couldn't afford to do anything. And it was a shame because I wanted to do so many more things. I didn't want to go to a restaurant and have to think like, oh, how much is this going to cost me? Or can I afford this? Or what's the cheapest thing on the menu? And I didn't want to be in that position anymore. So after that trip, I was like, yeah, I really need to get everything together. So the next time I go on holiday, I don't have to worry about that. And I love traveling now. And I'm so thankful. Now my holidays are so much better. I don't have to worry about things like that. I really don't have to stress. And yeah, but I remember that holiday in particular. It wasn't a great holiday for me because I didn't have enough money. So yeah.
It definitely gets that feeling going. You think that's kind of like a turning point in your life where it makes you realize that like I guess that's kind of like the low point in the pain, or I guess the high point in the pain threshold that you're willing to accept before you make change in your life. And so I guess that's, you know, kind of a lesson without us even knowing. We get to those pain point thresholds and then we're like, shit, we have to do something about this because I don't want to be in this situation again. And I think for a lot of us, maybe a lot of your viewers, my viewers, anyone in the finance space who really like, you know, us, we're always talking about it. We have an interest in our finance. If we haven't reached that pain point, then there's no motivation for us to change. So I guess you get that and then you're like, I got to go and find something else. So you went to books, you found something that helped you improve yourself 1% a day, that now 4 years on, $289,000 in net net worth. There's the word. Thank you. Which you can then see on Queenie's channel as well. So, you know, thank you for sharing that part of your story and your journey. I just want to quickly touch on a little bit more that has to do with your channel and what people can expect when they come over and visit your channel, now that they get a really good feeling of who you are and what it is that you are offering to your audience. What is, you know, is it stocks? Is it property? Like where are we at on that, on your channel?
On my channel, I do really want to be honest with people and give people some actual, real, tangible advice that they can follow and things that they can live by, and by actually offering my own personal story and experiences that I've actually gone through. So I don't want to be another finance YouTuber who's just recycling the same tips and the same advice. I want to bring something new. And I think that what I've realized in YouTube is people don't follow people because they have great tips. Like, yes, of course, it's important to have great tips and great advice, but people follow people because they like them as a person, they can relate, and they want to hear personal stories and personal experiences. So that's what I try to bring to my channel. I want to be real, I want to bring my own personal and unique experience, and I want to be completely authentic doing it. So I think, if you come to my channel, you'll notice that everything that I talk about on my channel is something that I've actually been through and done myself. And so you know it's real. It's not just like me copying and pasting some information from a website and recycling it into a YouTube video. So yeah, that's what I try to do.
It's a great point of difference, and really that's our only thing that we can share is our own experience, and that's what sets us apart. So if people enjoy it, they'll head over and they'll continue to subscribe and follow along, which is pretty much what's happening right now. You're going to get a lot of views, subs are going up. That's all great stuff, and it just shows how well you are putting out a message and sharing your experience.
You.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
I appreciate the kind words.
I appreciate you for sharing your story and being on the spot with me. I do dig in a little bit, so
no, this is so good. I really enjoyed chatting about everything, and I think you're so right. You're so spot on. It's not sexy. It is hard work. There's no quick and easy way to make money and be successful. It just doesn't exist.
We're trying to make the unsexy sexy. Leave it at that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Like the video, guys, head over to Queenie's channel and go and check out her content as well and her journey. Subscribe, and of course, leave your comments down below if you have other things you want to ask myself or Queenie. We'll be sure to get back to you on those. Catch you guys at the next video. Thanks again for watching, and until next time, have more fun to get more done.